What is going on, guys? 21 Maxwell here, and we are now at episode 34 already of the TNA TW series. Like most weeks, we are back in the tri-state region. We are booking it in the Atlantic City Convention Centre in the tri-state region and hoping to improve in last week's show, which was a disappointing 64 rating, a solid C because of the physicality of matches. I've lowered that a little bit, so hopefully this time, we should get a decent B minus. Hopefully we can push to a B because there's a lot of superstars or wrestlers are going to get action here. Just to try and push them, gain some momentum, and hopefully build our feuds right into the next level, get our storyline to the next level as we prepare to close in on Against All Odds. Let's crack on with the show and let's see how we do. Starting off with our pre-show, which is in front of a sellout 8,700, which I'm quite shocked at, so I'm happy with that. A good thing to see from the road agent report is that there is no complaining of physicality, so I think we'll get that sorted, so that's a good start. So in a good match that had good action, average heat, Chris Hero defeats Christopher Daniels in 7:22 with the death blow. This got a B minus 72, and that's with Christopher Daniels off his game tonight. And Chris Hero's improving his performance skills. The only negatives again is just holding back in the declining physical ability of Christopher Daniels. Next dark match, in an extremely short match, Taryn Terrell defeated Alexa Thatcher in 5:06 with the diving crossbody. We're building up Taryn Terrell on the pre-show. I can't afford to get like these kind of ratings on the actual show, so building her up there, getting her some momentum, and then hopefully our knockouts division will start producing some good numbers. So 36 D minus, and all the worker improvements or road agent reports are all commentary based, so that's no good. In the match had some good action, but not much in the way of heat. Morrison defeated James Storm in 9:06 by pinfall with a handful of attacks. Good chemistry between them. Again, Morrison is starting to gain a good bit of momentum, and a 65C, considering where both guys are at the moment, is pretty decent, and could tell me that in the future, if we can get both guys over, that could be a solid 70-75 match, so I'm happy with that. And James Storm's improving his flying skills. Let's kick on now with the actual show. Usual pyro, and Mike Tenay and Jim Ross introducing and hyping tonight's show and our main event match, which will be between Bobby Lashley and Tomasso Ciampa. That gets a 68 C+ rating, and it gets the crowd ready for some TNA. Then Bobby Roode bursts into Diamond Dallas Page's office and tells him exactly what he thinks of him. He's raging from last week because DDP's cost him the match against Ciampa with his quick pinfall. The Battle of the Company storyline continues, and I get an 82B, so again, DDP's star power is just awesome here. Then we have a new debutant, which is Vida Scott. So before our match, Vida Scott is seen as warming up. She got a 56 C-. She literally just come up from development. I signed her a wee while ago to put her in development. Was improving well, and before this show she was actually fighting Rosita, so I had to just say, "Well, pal, you can't do that." But I really want to push her as basically a manager and a wrestler, so we're debuting her. I'm going to try and build her up. Our first match, in an awful match, it was completely devoid of heat, so that's not good. Madison Rayne defeated Vida Scott in 7:02 by DQ, a 41 and a D. No worker improvements, all the negatives are just low morale and consistency and stuff like that. Good to see it was a hot crowd. Hopefully this hasn't lowered the crowd. Then Kenny King is up to DDP asking for an opportunity, and he says, "You've got what you asked for." Next week Kenny King will be in action as he bids to try and get back into the X Division hunt, and has a C+ 66. So we'll book his match next week because I've started to decide who he's going to be facing, but he will definitely be on next week's show. And about the feature, great action and a good crowd. Austin Aries defeats Eddie Kingston in 7:36 by pinfall. The 68 C+, probably because of the time constraints. Austin Aries is improving his performance skills, which is good. And that leads us to our next angle. A security guard at ringside for the bout between Austin Aries and Eddie Kingston suddenly hands over a billy club to Eddie Kingston, who uses the weapon to clock out Austin Aries, that guy being Chris Hero. So the two of them are ambushing Austin Aries. Continues the Aries and Hero feud, and a 78B is fantastic, and hopefully can get the storyline up and get a bit of heat on it. A match that had some good action and average heat. The Hardys defeated the Wolves in 12:18. When Jeff Rowe defeated Eddie Edwards by pinfall with an extreme combination. So basically just want to give both tag teams a chance, just getting some fresh tag matches and that. And I'm happy with C plus 66 as we continue to build some Hardys momentum and use them in this tag division. The cameras remain focused on the ring, where Adam Cole and Samoa Joe engage in a tension-filled stare down at neither give ground. Neither give ground. Samoa Joe performing poorly. Mike skills another Joe's strongest point, although it continues the Central Belt storyline and gets us a B-72 here, and it also leads into our next match. In a match that had some good action and average heat, Adam Cole and Club Enigma, of course that's EC3, Kurt Hawkins and Adam Cole defeated Samoa Joe and Team 3D when Adam Cole defeated Bully Ray by pinfall after using a foreign object. A C62 is decent, it's not great. I'd have hoped a lot better with Adam Cole and Samoa Joe being in the match. But the Central Belt storyline continues again, and Brother Devon was off his game tonight. Bully Ray is improving his performance skills, and EC3 is improving his rumble skills, so I'm quite happy with that. That's continuing that feud. Backstage, Beth Phoenix is shown walking into Madison Rain's locker. But basically, they are going to face each other, as you know, at Against All Odds, and it's just her going to say, well, what happened to you and Peter Scott? What was the script now for you? Next up then, and about to feature great action and average heat, Bobby Roode defeats Doug Williams in 15-24 by pinfall with a Roode Bomb. You're always going to get a good match with Doug Williams, and the fact it's only his second match back in TNA, and he gets a 74 B-, that's fantastic. Bobby Roode's improving both his rumble and performance skills, so somebody's going to help him with that. It is going to be Douglas Williams. Then Team 3D are backstage and they get ambushed by Club Enigma with a sneak attack that leaves them leaving them laid out. A 56 C-, it's just to say we're sick of you after what happened last week and this is more revenge on you. And then our main event match. In a match that had some good action and average heat, Bobby Lashley defeated Tomasso Ciampa in 11:38 with a spear. During the match, we had Kurt Angle come in and attack Tomasso Ciampa. Lashley's off his game. The Battle of the Company storyline advances because of Kurt Angle getting some revenge on Ciampa. And that gets a 67 plus rating. No worker improvements, which is a shame. And then just as Lashley's celebrating up the ramp, Magnus hits Bobby Lashley with his finisher on the entrance ramp to close the show, to show that he is the reigning champion, he is the king, he is the man in TNA, and it gets a B-72 and continues the King of the Throne storyline. And that ends up with a solid 72 rating, a B-, so much better from last week because we got the physicality in that done, sorted now, and that increases our popularity in 16 regions. So will that be reflected in our TV rating from Spike TV? Here's hoping, as we've only got one more week until Against All Odds. So as soon as it loads up, we'll be hoping for a 4.3ish, hopefully. We'll see what they said here. Feedback from viewers was great, it drawn a lot of praise, so that's good. I'm happy with that, that's positive. And that's kind of a spoiler for who I've signed, shit. But we've got a 4.34, and that is up from last week, so that's great. We've made a wee improvement there, and you've seen who's going to appear at Against All Odds. Hey pal. But that's a decent rating, I'm happy with that. And yeah, let's see what the size is now. Importance 61 in the southeast, so we're nearly getting the southeast up to the standard. It'll get us 2 over 65, and then we can start working on mid-Atlantic, south, mid-south, midwest and stuff like that in New England again. So that's it for this week. As I said, you've probably seen who's going to be arriving Against All Odds. We managed to get that massive coup somehow. And yeah, it can only be exciting times for TNA. It's good to see momentum's now at 75, so that's really good. And hopefully we can keep on pushing on. So next week will be the go home show, and then we'll head on to Against All Odds. So thank you for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.